Lomachenko, Haney. Well, business side of boxing has done it again. Like a couple of days ago, I was making a video on last week's Barroso Romero robbery, and it happened here again. You wouldn't call it like a robbery, maybe, but close to that. And again, when the last card was announced, but before the winner was announced, I saw reaction from Haney, and I understand what that reaction was about. So he kind of like, even before he was announced as the winner, but the latest card was announced that it was a unanimous, close decision. He already knew that it's gonna be for him. It's gonna be his decision, and here's why I think he knew it. Just before the fight, there were a lot of talks that Haney may, you know, leave Top Rank, and and he used it as the leverage, as you would do in a business negotiation. Basically, Top Rank were faced with Haney, a hot prospect, not prospect, like undisputed champion, the youngest undisputed champion, which had a lot of business still on him, like versus Tank Davis, Shakur Stevenson, and so on. And you had Lomachenko, which probably would still have a couple of fights, no more than that. So they understood the business, the cash flow projections that Lomachenko win would generate and Haney win could potentially generate. And Haney understood it, Bob Arum understood it, and they kind of like probably guaranteed Haney that if he managed to make it a close fight, not a shutdown, not that like total domination from Lomachenko, then the decision would be his, even if he lost, like even if it was close to losing for him. And that's exactly what happened. I just don't, and he kind of like, he managed to produce a close fight with Lomachenko, and he had already knew that the decision would be his. So when the last card was read out, like 15-13, he already knew. He had already, structured it for himself, and he knew. So and again, it's not good for boxing. Like I understand the arguments, and I'm reading the headlines. The Ring magazine is doing it again. Like they're like confirming Haney's win, but I have problems with that. I have problems. It was a close fight. A lot of rounds were close, but if you get away from technical details and look back at the fight as like in general, even I'm reading here right now, like article BBC Sport, like American Haney won by unanimous decision despite landing 110 punches to Ukraine's Lomachenko 124 punches. So how can you outthrow a guy, outland a guy, and lose? You can if you like, if your punches have much less impact, or like like the like you kind of like, you know what I mean. So you can lose if it, despite outlanding and so on, but it wasn't the case in this fight. Lomachenko had like Haney's head snapping. He hurt him a couple of times. That's true. I had an idea that there was a slight possibility that Lomachenko, if he was like his previous self, like his prime self, he would have like finished Haney in the 12th, like he did with a lot of other fighters, like in the late rounds. The late rounds were his, but he's old now. Yeah, and he relied on speed and stamina. So stamina is probably above the rest of them, but he was like 2 heads above the rest of them, and that's what he needed. He needed like not 103% of Haney's stamina, but he needed close to 153% of Haney's stamina. So and he doesn't have it. That's age. Yeah, some fighters rely on some other attributes, and they can last longer, like most of the heavyweights. When you rely on power, when you rely on size, then you can last longer. But when you rely on such fundamentals as speed and stamina, the age is killing it for you. So had it been like Lomachenko at 25-year-old, I just before this fight I rewatched the Gary Russell fight. Well, like had it been like Lomachenko from that age, Haney would have Haney would have not had any chances. That's my opinion. So he got slower, still fast, but slower than he used to be, and his stamina kind of let him down. So when he was like pressing hard Haney, and Haney was even stumbling around in the 11th round, I thought that Lomachenko, if he's close to his prime, he would have like sped it up even more in the 12th, and Haney would be there was a chance that he may take out Haney, but that didn't happen. The 12th round wasn't like as good as 11th for the for Lomachenko, but still, like looking back at the fight, how can you say Haney won? What did he do? Like body punches? I get it. There were a lot of like clean body punches, but is that enough? Is that enough to offset what Lomachenko did? Pressing him, like running him around the corners, like dominating him in the 11th. Like rewatch that round. I don't think Haney won. And then you have statistics, like he threw more and he landed more, and those were not like lesser punches at least than Haney's body punches. A lot of people are appealing to the facial damage, but again, like look at Usyk, look at Klitschko's, look at Lomachenko. Like they have different skin. They cut a lot. They bruise a lot. That's just and chop. Like it's just their nature. So again, I'm disappointed because I think there was like a shadow business activity that kind of like swung the result in the wrong way. It was a close fight, but Lomachenko just edged it, and he should have been announced the winner. And now again, as the same was with Barroso, he's getting old. And this elusive, undisputed status is like running away from him, and that's the pity because he's the real. If anyone deserves it, the Lomachenko should be on that list within his era. He brought a lot of things. There are a lot of videos analyzing his. Movements, tactics, angles, tricks, and so on. So again, I'm a little bit disappointed, not because Haney won. That's okay. Haney is a cool fighter. I'm happy for him and happy to have him as undisputed. But I can't say that the justice was done. I can't say that Haney won the fight. No, he didn't do enough. And Lomachenko just may as well have done enough. So that's my opinion. Again, just let me know what you think.